airport actually received planning permission back in August 2007, but plans were put on hold due to the economic downturn and the fall in passenger numbers. The runway will be 3,100 metres long and will be built 1.6 kilometres north of the existing main runway. The airport says that the recovery in passenger numbers over the last 2 years has been significant. The new North Runway development will open up connectivity to a range of long-haul destinations, particularly in fast-growing economies in Asia, Africa and South America. It is also claimed the new runway could support a further 31,000 jobs over the next 2 decades, which will contribute €2.2 billion to GDP. Enabling works are due to commence later in 2016, with construction of the North Runway scheduled to start in 2017. Gatwick achieved a record March with 3.1 million passengers using the airport. The 5.8% year-on-year rise was helped by a 9.6% increase in the number of long-haul passengers. The airport has now recorded 3 years of consecutive monthly growth. North Atlantic routes are up by over 19%, including LA at 63%, Toronto at 60% and Vancouver at 36%. Norwegian, who were on a recent show, you may remember, their route to Boston was brought forward by 2 months to March due to unprecedented demand. This was the first of 20 new long-haul routes planned for this summer from Gatwick, which includes Hong Kong, Cape Town, Vancouver and Costa Rica. One I really fancy myself. European routes growth last month included Fuerteventura at 39%, Venice at 33% and Iceland at 31%. Stuart Wingate, Chief Executive of Gatwick Airport, said, "An expanded Gatwick would build on this momentum and deliver yet more competition and choice for passengers. Only last month, Norwegian pledged 50 Dreamliners to a 2-runway Gatwick, which would transform the UK long-haul market." You can follow me on Twitter @holiday_hut. Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com. Gatwick's rival for a second runway has also announced some figures for last month. The number of domestic passengers using Heathrow fell by almost 14% in March, and the airport did have some increases. It did attract more long-haul business. Year-on-year domestic numbers have dropped to 380,000, and routes to the Middle East, Asia Pacific have shown great growth. The airport saw the overall number of passengers rise by 2.5% last month to a record 6.1 million. Fast-growing emerging markets continue to contribute to increased passenger numbers, including China, which is up 12%, India 4%, and the Middle East rose 9%. Part of the Middle East, Emirates have added a sixth daily Dubai flight from last month, following a slot transfer. According to an airport spokesperson, there is a queue of over 30 airlines that are still waiting for slots at Heathrow. Which airport do you think should get the second runway, Gatwick, Heathrow or neither? And the airline should be spread out amongst existing airports. Please do let me know what you think at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Still continuing on my airport theme for travel news at the moment. Year-on-year passenger numbers for Manchester Airport for March were 11% up, which to 1.74 million, which is a new record for the airport. 23.5 million people in the last 12 months to March have used Manchester Airport. Growth was also seen across the other airports that are a member of Manchester Airports Group, or MAG. Stansted saw numbers rise by 13.2% to almost 1.9 million. This figure takes the airport's annual rolling total to 23.1 million passengers. East Midlands Airport posted a 9.1% increase in passengers to 281,480, and Bournemouth Airport had 37,210 passengers in March. Aircraft movements in and out of Manchester Airport were also up in March by 883, with 13,736 taking off and landing at the airport's 2 runways. Further expansion at the airport will come with the addition of new long-haul routes including LA, Aruba, Boston, Miami, Hong Kong and Beijing. There's also going to be flights to Phuket, Tobago and Mauritius. And finally, I promise, with airports, passengers using Luton Airport rose by almost a quarter in March to 1.05 million passengers. The 24.4% year-on-year rise came as the year's Easter was early and it fell into March. The increase marks the first time that more than 1 million passengers have passed through the airport during the month of March. Thomas Cook Airline is to run charter routes from Luton to Ibiza, Menorca, Corfu, Mallorca from summer next year, which is also going to add to the passenger numbers, it is hoped. The chief executive of the airport, Nick Barton, said, "The arrival of Thomas Cook is a very exciting milestone for the airport. Coming as we mark 2 consecutive years of growth, it is further evidence of Luton Airport's growing popularity among passengers." I promise that's the end of airport news for this week. There'll be more travel news in a moment. You can keep up to date with travel news and leave me a message at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. The new Egypt tourism minister has announced plans to boost visitor numbers, which will hopefully reinvigorate Egyptian tourism following a turbulent year last year. The scheme, which focuses on 6 main areas of improvement, includes the upgrading of tourist facilities, an increase in sustainable accommodation and transport, and an emphasis on working with Egypt's international tourism partners. This popular destination has suffered a significant fall in tourist numbers following the downing of the Russian aircraft last year, which led to the cancellation of flights between Sharm el-Sheikh and the UK. How do you feel about Egypt? Would you be rushing back there, or do you think you're going to give it a rest or a wide berth for the next few years to see what happens? Please do share your feelings on Egypt at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show, or you can tweet me at holiday_hut. US citizens have been warned by their government about travelling to Turkey because of credible threats against tourists. Several attacks have hit major cities in recent months, with the Islamic State, or IS, and Kurdish militants claiming responsibility. The concern is driven by Turkey's membership of the American-led coalition against IS, with Turkey hosting coalition planes at an airbase for raids into Iraq and Syria. Turkey is also conducting its own campaign against the Kurdish militants after a ceasefire between them and the government ended. A few days ago, Saturday, the US Embassy in Turkey published an emergency travel warning on its website containing details of areas authorities believe to be at risk. And this includes part of Turkey's Mediterranean coast, which is visited by millions of holidaymakers every year. The warning comes just after Israel's Counter-Terrorism Bureau urged all Israelis to avoid Turkey, saying there are immediate risks of attacks being carried out in the country, and we stress the threat applies to all tourism sites in Turkey. I just asked you what you feel about Egypt. Would you be rushing back? What about Turkey? Is Turkey off your radar for now? Do you think there is a big risk? Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Share your thoughts. Or as I mentioned a moment ago, you can tweet at holiday_hut. Ryanair has announced that it's going to introduce an upgraded leisure product and also a dedicated website for groups this summer. The airline is also planning to sell more ancillary products on the Ryanair app, which includes a one-flick payment, making it easier to buy services such as car hire, flight upgrades, airport parking and transfers on the move. This app will also include a Rate My Flight tool, which will give Ryanair passengers a chance to give immediate feedback to the airline. The airline boss, Michael O'Leary, said the carrier, which grew 17% in 2015, was aiming to grow from 106 million passengers to the end last year to the end of March to 113 million passengers this year. He said he expects fares to continue to fall as the airline will benefit from €430 million saving on its fuel costs due to lower oil prices. He also said the upgraded fare, which is Leisure Plus, and it's going to be given 20 kilogram baggage allowance, auto check-in and priority boarding, was designed for well-heeled passengers who want some but not all the benefits of the airline's Business Plus product. So it will launch from July and the cost will be from €43.99. At the same time, the airline has made changes to its Business Plus product after feedback revealed corporate customers weren't bothered about the free check-in, baggage allowance, and instead an increased ticket flexibility was more of use to them, and it's going to be allowing passengers to change their tickets up to 2 days before and after the original flight times. Other changes to be introduced include a revamp of the airline's interiors to give a 1 inch more legroom, more headspace, larger windows, and it has reduced the number of bag check-in options to 6. The airline is also hoping to give discounts to groups on a dedicated website for the first time. The airline said this was to prevent passengers from going to travel agents who generally steer them towards an old-fashioned carrier. That's not the word they use, but I just can't pronounce it today. I don't know what's wrong with me. So they're becoming a bit like a travel agent. If you're booking a group, are you confident to do it yourself? Would you do it on a website, or would you prefer a travel professional to do the group booking for you? There are reasons why price tickets are slightly different for groups, but it's nothing. They're not trying to rip you off. They're trying to make sure everybody pays the same. But anyway, would you do a large group via a website, or would you prefer a travel professional? Let me know. Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. We've reached the end of this week's show. Minnesota's tourism office website will be posted at Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. This is also the place to go should you have any requests for destinations you want covered or consumer advice on travel. Consumer advice, not about buying a second-hand car, no, nothing about that. But consumer travel advice, send me a message at Facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. And also post your comments about the risk of terrorism if you go on holiday. Have you been put off going to Turkey? Would you rush back to Egypt? Is there any destination you're particularly worried about? Just send me a note via there. I'm always looking for suggestions for destinations. If there's really anywhere you want me to cover, please do send me a message and I'll do it. Or get somebody on to talk about it anyway. You can also use @holiday_hut Twitter account to send me a message too. And I do hope you can join me next time on the Travel Show with John Guinn on UKHealthRadio.com, where each week I'm checking it out before you check in.